Okay, it is finally, well, it's still warm, but not, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to die out here kind of warm. So I've got all my stuff together to put together my Greenstalks. I've got a leaf and an original, both in this pretty blueberry color. First, I'm going to just go ahead and put my the wheels on my bases here, these spinner bases, and then I will start mixing soil for these things. I picked up this potting mix, and I'm going to mix in some peat moss because I've had this thing of peat moss for years and I really kind of need to use it. I know it's not considered ideal these days, and I think coconut coir is what people are preferring, but like I said, I've had this for years, so this is what I'm going to use. I've got some vermiculite that when I was buying it online, I was paying attention to the weight. I didn't realize how much of a volume that would be. I didn't need near that much for my seed starting, so I'll just kind of sprinkle it over the top of the pots. And then I've got some fertilizer. And so I'm going to mix some of that stuff in with this potting mix and go from there. So I'm going to say this part of this is very easy. Actually, the whole thing was easy. But I just pushed them in, and every other wheel is a locking wheel. And then afterwards I realized, oh yeah, I need to put that little drain hose on. So I do that, and it's done. So I've got this inexpensive potting mix, and it says also raised bed. I know the Greenstalk people don't recommend the raised bed stuff, but I did amend it with a few things. I'm hoping that will kind of help, and when I need less of it, I'll start buying some of the higher end potting mix. But I put in a few big handfuls of the peat moss, 1.5 cups of vermiculite, and a cup each of bone meal and the organic fertilizer, and just mixed all of that up. And then comes time to start filling my different levels. So I just put a little yogurt cup on top of that little center hole to make sure that the dirt didn't fall into it. And I've got the little drain thing kind of hanging out over the lawn so that whenever water comes out, it'll go up there for now. And since this mix is still kind of dry, I watered it down about halfway through filling it, and then filled it some more, and then added more water. At this point, I did also put in my patio tomato I picked up. I'm kind of hoping that will help me extend my tomato harvest, because what's going in the ground isn't doing so fantastic right now. I figure I can just turn this to make sure it's shaded at the right time of day. But as I said, I've added more soil in, watered it down some more, and of course, once this thing is fully put together, I'll put water in the watering can at the top. But these things kind of snapped in pretty easy. I'm fairly content with my purchase at this time. It helps that I did get it on sale. I had planned on buying these later in the year, but the sale kind of encouraged me to go, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So I don't really have a whole lot to plant in them right now, but I kind of wanted to get them built so that weren't going around. Then I did find the patio tomato to throw in there. Put in a few of the bunching onions. I might try to do root a piece of my basil and see if I can get some of that started in there as well. But I have some seeds that I'm going to put in. I'm thinking maybe some more cucumber, in hopes that maybe I can keep getting them, even though the squash bugs are becoming much more prevalent in the yard and I'm at a point that it is too hot to be fighting them. I'll probably pull up the patty pan and yellow squash this week. But yeah, I filled it. It wasn't hard. It was hot and miserable, but that's not the fault of the Greenstalk. That's the fault of living in Texas. In the end, filling both of the Greenstalks took 5 of those big old bags of potting mix, so I have one more left over that I will use for other things. So this took half an hour, including mixing the soil, to get it put together, and I planted the tomato in the process. That was actually pretty easy, despite the fact that it's Texas and it's hot in June. So they're both built. It took all weekend only because we had very limited time in the mornings and evenings to work on it. And right now, the rest of the day is hot and humid and miserable, and I didn't want to be outside. As it is early evening, and I am sweating sitting out here. And I'm sitting because, yeah, it's hot. The only things I've planted so far is the patio tomato that I got when I went and picked up the soil, and a couple of 3 bunching onions, actually. And that's because I harvested one of my Egyptian walking onions, and I just put the root back in there along with the little bulbets that were growing on the top. I need to, that thing's popped back up. I need to put that a little deeper in the dirt, but yeah, that's it. And I like them very much. I think they go well with the other pots. I wouldn't mind having a lighter blue as well, but yay. Thank you for watching. If you are enjoying seeing how my garden is progressing through the year, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching.